Hello again, Joshua behind the screen. We continue our tutorial with the discussion on the map. And previously we just discussed the emails that are sent from the pump on a weekly basis. We want to see now how once we have received these emails and we understand there's an alert and we need to take care of it, what do we do, how do we go about it to go on the map. So you have to follow the steps that we mentioned. You sign in the map using one of the port that we have discussed, and then get to the map. So once you open the map, here the screen is showing the left side is a screen that shows up, which shows the map of the world, and the right side is another screen that appears when you select a specific project and you want to work on that specific project, maybe looking at it and making a comment or stating that an action has been taken, etc. So it's easier if we go to the map and work from there. All right, here is what we were looking at, and notice on this map. Okay, we can see red dots, and we can see green dots. The red dots are representing a project in a country which have active alerts, and when you see green are alerts which are inactive. In other words, there's no problem. We are fine. Not all alerts will be bad. So projects are there, but they don't have any alert that's active. So we are good with that. Let me also bring this to your attention. Look at the legend here. It's here, so we can see better. All right. There is a legend at the bottom right. I want to draw your attention to this. 3 columns and their explanation, self-explanatory. When you see a small red dot, it's just like one alert. But if you see the next size, it may be 2 to 3 alerts. Red dot with a ring around, it's 4 to 10, and several rings around the red dot is 11 alerts and more. That's how you can read an alert and be able to say, oh, I have a lot of alerts if you see something like this, or I have, okay, maybe 2 or 3, or I have 1. In the column in the middle, we see days active. One is fading, less than 3 days. And when the color gets thicker, it's the number of days have increased up to 14. But then when it becomes really red like blood, then you have several alerts, almost up to 29. Beyond, this is like turning to purple. Let's facilitate how to read that, color coded. Extreme right, we have other signs that we can read, and we see here is the account of project. We see shaded round is insufficient data, as we see shaded gray rings, alert in focus, and then no alert. Take note of this if you want to understand these dots. The legends are shown there. Let us go on this also. On this map, when we are still here, we can see these are countries that are on the map. You can be able to choose only one or several. On the right side, we are able to select a country. You can select a phase, you can select a country, and then you update. You can select a project. So let's just pick one country here. Maybe let's say like pick like Kenya, or I have used Kenya many times. Let's pick something else. Maybe you go to Malawi. Pick Malawi, and once you pick the country, you have to update. Now you can see the only country coming. See, that's how you select. Let me select something else, and you see how it appears. And for those who may have not seen, let's go to Peru. Select, that's only Peru coming. So once you have selected like that, you can now go to a particular country, and then it will come. So Darwin La Grande, showing two active alerts. By clicking on that, select it. This is the window that comes. That's the window I was telling you. So let me work with here. It is easier here. So how we go that now? Look at this here. On this page, we see many things, and we are going to try to understand some of these important elements that are on this page. You see date range. Date range here is presenting, this is like maybe history, or you can be able to see the past, what was happening. If I click and drag, I'm dragging, I can see for many months if there were some alerts that were active. It looks like there were no alert active somewhere, but let me see if there was a difference. You see, okay, on this one, you can see as I drag, look at this one. Before, okay, November 17. Let's see what was happening in November 17. Before November 17, you see this gray represents 124 days was disabled. In other words, this alert was not active. It was not enabled. It is after that it was enabled. So that's how you can you play with the date range. It shows you the past, what was happening. You can look at the red also, and the follow-ups. So there's time here. There was a problem with the follow-up, but then when the time comes and to submit the follow-up, you can see this red start to be disappearing. Disappears. So it disappeared. Yeah. That's how even the alerts will be cleared. And another thing is alert timeline. The alert timeline is, you see all these under the standard type. We see these alerts. These are the standard line. Can show you how many days it was green, or how many days it was active, how many days it was gray like we saw the other time. See, for those which one were gray, you can see how many days it was gray. How to respond to alerts. Yeah, how do we respond to alerts? Looking at the right side, right hand here, we see a box. This is a dialog box. Is said here, record an action or add a comment. That's where comments are made. That's where you communicate what is happening to whoever will be interested in knowing what's going on with the project. So you come here, and the first thing, very important, is that if you want to mention something about a certain alert, alert that came from a follow-up report, you have to select this timeline. Select it and look at the right side what's going to happen. When I select it, it changes and it comes to this one. You can see that there has been a comment. This comment says, awaiting for funding. Obviously this alert does not really make sense very well because a follow-up is not there, and awaiting for funding. Probably they didn't do a follow-up because they didn't have enough money to go to the field. So we encourage people to make a comment that we don't need to guess what it means. Yeah. So, and when you make a comment and then you go to the next. If you want to come to monthly summary report, select it first. Specifically, then it comes to this one. And then you put a note, you want to add a note. If you put a note like this, and you save it. I want to save it, this one, because this is an active project. I will not be submitting it. That was just to show you. And once an action has been taken, you click on action taken. This box, you click action taken. And once you click on action taken, the running man will show up here. Example for the project that, for example, this running man comes when action is taken, when they have clicked on action taken. See, the box is clicked, it's checked. That's where we see action taken. That's the way we add the comment. Make sure comments that are made within 72 hours. That is recommended. And make a comment that makes sense. No need of guessing. And if you make a comment like we saw noted, that comment of noted is not enough. Maybe noted after some time, we may want to see to know more about that noted, what you had seen, like this noted, done on the 5th. So now we are on the 18th of the month. It's more than 2 weeks, so it would be good to know what has happened. Looks like an action was taken, but maybe that's what I clicked here. So remember that when you are making a comment, and when an action is to be taken, then do it. And this is a dialog box, and we do look at it oftentimes. Inside the commentary, there is also a heading which talks about dispatching staff. It's important. If the map field coordinator has the authority to assign staff and vehicle resources, he or she will provide a comment in the dialog box to indicate the alert has been seen. Then, with approval from the country director, he will assign a certain qualified staff to go and take care of the issue. And once this is done, the map coordinator should go back and then make the comment that action has been taken, and check this box and submit, and then we will see the running man going up there to the timeline. If the map field coordinator does not have the authority to do that, then he will have to take note of what he observed and what would like to be done, and we'll discuss this with a community development coordinator or with the country director, who will decide and approve the vehicle and let the staff go to the field and address the problem, because this needs to be done as soon as possible to make sure that staff, or to make sure that our beneficiaries get the service that they need. Okay, a good question that is often asked is how an alert can be cleared. How does an alert clear? So we'll read this text together and go slowly for reason of understanding. As alerts are triggered by different reasons, there are various ways alerts will be cleared. Here are some examples. If an alert is triggered by remote sensors, it will be automatically cleared out when the measured parameters turn to the acceptable range defined by the alert level. Alerts which are triggered by monthly or follow-up report can only be cleared by the submission of a new report following the alert. I think that's very clear. This means that the parameters in question are back to acceptable range. Another example is, for instance, a low operational cost or a low replacement cost recovery will be cleared when the amount saved for operation and for equipment replacement is equal or higher than the preset target level of the alert. As mentioned under the alert timeline heading, there are colors coded horizontal line. You can see them. They can turn green. You can see red. We can have light or dark gray depending on the current situation in relation to the alert level previously set. In normal cases, a green color means everything is working as expected. However, once the level of indicators falls short or exceed the benchmark previously set on the map, an alert is triggered and the extreme right tip of the horizontal line turns red starting from the dot. As days go by without action, the red increases and the green diminishes. When appropriate action is taken and the issue with which triggered the alert is resolved, the extreme right tip of the horizontal line turns green, starting from the dot toward the left side until the whole horizontal line turns completely green. And that could easily be understood if we look at them. So we can see that we see here, this is green. When you see green, this means everything is okay. But look at this one. This stop had an alert. And there was a problem with turbidity. Once it was noticed, definitely, let me click on it, there was action was taken. Once action was taken, that's why we see this one. We see that the time it was triggered, this was red. But since action had been taken, we can see the red is going and the green is growing. It will continue as days go by if there's no other reasons why this turbidity will go up again. This will continue until it will disappear and the timeline will turn green completely. The other thing is, you can see here, if okay, this is the same thing, it's showing the same thing. Okay, so we saw the colors, we see the green color, we see the red colors, we see the gray colors. All those are the colors that we do see when it happens. So that's how it's cleared. Follow-ups, monthly summary report. If anything is due, is because of the report. If you submit the report, then it will start to clear. If it was a sensor, unless it returns to the set level, that's the only way it will be cleared. And I think that explains exactly what happens for the clearing of the alert. Under the right side of this window, we also notice a heading historical data of the certain project. So this is a graph that shows you the data of what has been going on from January 24, 2017, what happened with the turbidity, how the turbidity was. You can be able to see from that time until even today, July 18, how things are moving. That's basically the history of this project. Thank you so much for following. Read more, you will be able to understand, and if you have any question, feel free to contact me, because we will be able to work together and come to a better understanding of what we are doing. See you in the next video.